Today for our special recipe, we're going to be teaching you guys how to make pastries.
We enjoy making them on Friday nights, any parties with our friends.
And we also like to make them when there's a family get together or something like that. It's a super easy recipe and tastes absolutely delicious. For the base, for the cake part, my mom has already taught you the recipe, but we're going to be giving you guys a quick overview again. But I'll leave the link for the more thorough cake recipe in the description. So let's get started. So for the ingredients, we're going to need 2.5 cups of flour. I mix it in with 1 tablespoon of baking powder and a half tablespoon of salt. And over here I have 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 4 eggs, large eggs, 3/4 cup of oil, you can also use butter, and 1 cup of milk. So now we're going to just add this all in. First I'm going to add the oil. I'm going to add everything all at once. I'm going to add 4 eggs. A second egg. And I'm gonna add our 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract and our 1 cup of milk. Now we're gonna beat this all together. We have preheated the oven to 350 degrees. So while I was beating this, I forgot to tell you guys one more ingredient. I added a half cup of sugar into this, just as a friendly reminder to add a half cup of sugar too. So let's get beaten again. So here's our final batter. Now I'm going to be showing you guys my tray that I'm using. Okay, so our batter is beaten properly. Make sure that there is no flour stuck on the sides because that sometimes happens. So for our tray, I'm picking a longer tray since these are pastries. You can use any other tray you want, but I would prefer using this one because we're going to cut them into pastry shape. But I'm just going to pour my batter into this now. And look at how smooth and fluffy our batter is. This is exactly how we want it to be. In our baking tray, I'm just going to smack it a few times just to get all the bubbles out. And we're going to put it into our oven. Our preheated oven. Make sure to wear oven mitts to stay safe. And we're going to wait for about 40. And to check, I'm going to just poke a hole into our cake. I'm going to take a wooden stick and I'm just going to poke a hole to check. And it's not wet. That means that our cake is ready. I'm going to cool for about an hour or 30 minutes, depends, and then I'll show you guys the next step. Okay, so while our cake is cooling, I'm gonna tell you guys the ingredients for the topping. So we have 1.5 cup of cream that we're gonna beat, and we have sugar, which we're gonna add gradually, so we'll see how much we need. We have strawberry puree. For that, you just have to grind your strawberries. And for the topping, we have some strawberries and cherries and pineapples. We have some chocolate. You can use anything you want. We have some wafers and melted chocolate. And for the cream, we're gonna need vanilla essence. And this is sugar paste that we're gonna be using on our cake. So I've beaten it for 3 minutes, and I'm gonna add my 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence and about 3 tablespoons of icing sugar. 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to beat it again. So our cream is ready, and we're going to mix it with our puree, but not all of it. We're just going to take a small portion just for the inside filling to give it extra flavor. I've taken out some of my cream and put it into a separate bowl. I'm going to just pour all my puree into this and give it a good mix. Okay, so our cake is all cooled down, and we just cut it off from the sides and on the top to even it. And we're going to take this piece of equipment, but if you don't have it, you can use a thread or a knife. So basically, I'm just going to do this. You have to be very gentle. Okay, so here's our first layer of cake. I place it onto a tray, and I'm gonna take my sugar syrup and just apply it everywhere. This is actually a very good tip as it makes the cake very moist, and it's one of my mom's secret ingredients as well. So I've put my strawberry puree fresh cream into my piping bag. I don't have any tip for this part, but I'm just gonna start pushing like this. Just like that. I'm gonna keep going. So here's our first layer done. Now we're gonna place our second cake layer on top.
Okay, so we're done both layers, and now we're gonna use the sugar syrup, and we're just gonna put it on the top layer. We're just gonna spread it out on the top. Okay, so now we're going to refrigerate this for around 30 minutes for it to settle down.
So we let the cake rest in the fridge for about 30 minutes, and now we're going to just cut it. I just traced a little bit of lines just to give me an example of how to do it, but I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to go horizontally and vertically both ways, and I'm just going to cut all of them nice and evenly.
Okay, so you can use any tip for this part, but I'm going to use this tip, and I'm going to make flowers. Okay, so you can make any type of flowers you would like. I made these types, and they're actually really easy to make. Any age can make them. Any teenagers can make them. And now I'm just going to put pineapples, and I'm going to put cherries and peaches.
Okay, so for our second design, I'm taking the same tip that my sister used, but I'm just gonna make like a small kind of dot, you can say. And this chocolate that I'm using, my mom has made, but maybe in the future for like Christmas recipes, I'll be teaching you guys how to make those. And I'm just gonna place a strawberry, and I'm gonna take my melted chocolate and just drizzle it on top. And I'm gonna do this to the rest of them too. Since we have finished halfway through, we decided that we wanted to create almost the same pattern in all of them just to make it look more professional. And so we just decided to first make all these flowers on all the pastries to make it be a little bit more faster. Okay, and so for the designs, you can do literally whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. So we're just gonna do more strawberries and fruits because we enjoy strawberry and fruits on our pastries and cakes. So we're just gonna keep doing this until we finish the whole tray. And of course we need more chocolate because who doesn't love chocolate? So we're just gonna drizzle some Nutella that we've and some milk chocolate that we've melted. And we're just gonna add Kit Kat and just gonna give it a whole new look. Okay, so now that we have decorated all the pastries, but we wanted to like show you guys each an individual one. Look at how neat it looks, and each pile is stacked so neatly. But as you can tell, look at the cream and how evenly it sits between all the cake layers. And this recipe you all should try too because it was super simple as we showed you guys. If we can do it, you guys can do it too.
Okay, so here's our final look, and if you like the recipe, make sure to like and subscribe.
And stay tuned for more recipes just like these.